Imagine a canvas of absolute nothingness. Dark, empty, and chaotic. This is how the greatest story ever told begins. Out of the silence, a voice speaks. Light bursts into existence, slicing through the darkness. Over a series of cosmic strokes, order emerges from chaos. The oceans are corralled, the dry land rises, and the planet erupts with vibrant green life, swarming seas, and skies filled with flight. But the Creator isn't done. On the final day, the focus shifts from the cosmic to the intimate. From the dust of the earth, God shapes humanity. He breathes His own life into them and places them in a perfect, sprawling garden called Eden. They aren't just there to exist. They are given a royal mission: to reflect the Creator's heart, care for this flawless new world, and enjoy absolute, unhindered partnership with Him. No scham, no fear, just a perfect blueprint. But in the center of the garden stands a choice. A single tree. Every great story has a turning point where everything goes wrong. For our world, it happened at a tree. Enter a subtle adversary, the serpent. He approaches the first humans with a toxic question, casting doubt on the Creator's goodness. Did God really say you can't eat from any tree? He knows that if you eat it, you'll become just like Him. The temptation isn't just about fruit. It's about control. It's the desire to redefine right and wrong on human terms, without God. They take the bite. Instantly, the fabric of reality tears. The innocence they took for granted vanishes, replaced by a cold, sudden wave of shame and fear. For the first time, they hide from their Creator. The consequences are devastating. Humanity is exiled from the garden, and brokenness, labor, and death enter the human story. Yet, as the gates of Eden close behind them, God drops a mysterious promise. A hint that one day, a descendant of the woman will strike back and crush evil forever. Outside the garden, the infection of rebellion spreads rapidly down the family line. The first two brothers in human history, Cain and Abel, represent a fork in the road for humanity. Both bring offerings to God. Abel offers the very best of his flock with a heart of trust. Cain brings a careless offering from his harvest. When God accepts Abel's gift but rejects Cain's, jealousy flares into a blinding rage. God gently warns Cain, "Sin is crouching at your door, desiring to control you. You must master it." Cain refuses to listen. He lures his brother out into an empty field, and in a flash of unchecked envy, commits the world's first murder. When God asks, "Where is your brother?" Cain responds with history's coldest shrug. "Am I my brother's keeper?" Abel's blood cries out from the ground, and Cain is cast out as a restless wanderer. A stark warning of how quickly human hearts spiral when separated from their source. Generations pass, and the human experiment spirals completely out of control. Violence becomes the global currency. The Bible states that every inclination of the human heart was only evil all the time. The beautiful creation had become a nightmare. Heartbroken by the corruption, God decides to press the cosmic reset button. But amidst the darkness, one man stands out: Noah, a man who still walks with integrity. God gives Noah a wild, seemingly impossible task: build a massive wooden ark in the middle of dry land to save his family and a remnant of animal life. For decades, Noah builds while the world watches and mocks. Then the skies open. For 40 days and nights, a catastrophic flood cleanses the earth, swallowing the violence of humanity. When the waters finally recede, the ark settles on a mountain peak. Noah steps out into a quiet, clean world. God paints a brilliant rainbow across the sky, making a solemn promise never to destroy the earth by a flood again. It's a fresh start, but as we will see, the flaw in the human heart went onto the ark with them. The floodwaters are gone, the rainbow has faded, and humanity has a completely blank slate. You would think Noah and his family would build a perfect, righteous utopian society. Instead, the very next story shows us just how deep the internal flaw runs. Noah plants a vineyard, ferments the grapes, and gets blindingly drunk. He passes out naked inside his tent. His son, Ham, walks in, sees his father in this vulnerable, compromised state, and instead of covering him, he runs outside to gossip and mock him to his brothers, Shem and Japheth. Shem and Japheth realize the gravity of the disrespect. They take a large robe, place it across their shoulders, and walk backward into the tent so they won't look at their father's nakedness, gently covering him up. When Noah wakes up from his wine and finds out what his youngest son did, the harmony of the new world shatters. Noah utters a devastating curse over Ham's descendants, the Canaanites, and blesses Shem and Japheth. The family lines are already fractured, laying the groundwork for future geopolitical wars before the new world has even begun. As Noah's descendants multiply, the Bible pauses to track the family trees. To a casual reader, it looks like a boring list of names. But buried in this chapter is the rise of the world's very first dictator. His name was Nimrod. The text describes him as a mighty hunter before the Lord. But in ancient Hebrew, this phrase implies a ruthless warrior who hunted men, establishing his power in defiance of God. God's original command to humanity was to scatter, multiply, and fill the entire earth. Nimrod did the exact opposite. He began to centralize power, conquering territories and building the world's first empires. He establishes a network of major cities, including Nineveh, Akkad, and an infamous place called Babel. Nimrod flips the script on human society. Instead of a world of scattered families living under God, he creates a centralized, militarized collective built on human ambition and forced unity. And this collective is about to launch a project that challenges heaven itself. The growing human population migrates east and settles in a massive, flat plain called Shinar. At this point in history, the entire world speaks a single, unified language. But instead of using this unity to honor their creator, they decide to weaponize it. They invent a new technology, baked brick and tar for mortar. This allows them to build stronger and higher than ever before. They gather in a massive assembly and say, "Come, let us build ourselves a city with a tower that reaches to the heavens, so that we may make a name for ourselves. Otherwise, we will be scattered over the face of the whole earth." Look closely at their motives. This isn't just an engineering project. It's a declaration of independence. They build a tower to force their way into the heavenly realm on their own terms. They want to make a name for themselves, seeking ultimate fame and security through human technology and political empire, flatly refusing God's command to spread out and cultivate the earth. Like and subscribe for next historical.